Hey everybody, in this video we're going to talk about the product and quotient rules of derivatives. I'm not going to show you the proofs of these, but I'm going to show you what the formulas are for them and how to use them. So let's start with the product rule. The product rule says if we have a function f of x and that equals u of x times v of x. So that's basically saying that we've got two separate functions within a function. We're multiplying them together. U of x is a function and v of x is a function. Okay, so if we have that, then the derivative of f of x is going to be u of x times v prime of x. All right, so the derivative of v of x plus u prime of x v of x. All right, so what we're saying is we're going to take the sum of the original function u of x times the derivative of v of x. And then we're going to add that to the derivative of u of x times the original function v of x. Alright, let's see it with an actual example. So we're going to say f of x equals 3x minus 2x squared times 5 plus 4x. So here we have two different functions. U of x is going to be 3x minus 2x squared. V of x is going to be 5 plus 4x. Okay, so let's start finding the derivative for this. So we'll begin by looking at u of x. U of x is 3x minus 2x squared. Okay, then we go to v prime of x. So that's the derivative of v of x. V of x is 5 plus 4x. So what's the derivative of 5 plus 4x? That is 4. Now we're going to add to that u prime of x. So the derivative of u of x. Alright, so here we've got a couple things that we have to do in there. So we're going to have to take the derivative of 3x minus 2x squared, and we know that that is going to equal 3 minus 4x. Then we are going to take the original function v of x, and we're going to just plug that in there, and we have 5 plus 4x. Okay, so now what do we do with all this? Well, we just start multiplying and simplifying. So we're going to have 12x minus 8x squared plus 15 plus 12x minus 20x minus 16x squared. You can double check my work as you go along. Make sure that you're seeing how all of this is multiplying out. Then we just start simplifying. And when we simplify, we get negative 24x squared plus 4x plus 15. Alright, so that's how you take the product rule. So now let's look at the quotient rule. The quotient rule is going to be kind of similar. It's going to have all these different pieces working together. But what does a quotient rule look like? What does a quotient function look like? Well, that's if we have a function f of x and it equals g of x over h of x. So now we're talking about rational functions. So we've got a separate function in the numerator than we have in the denominator. So if this is the case, then f prime of x is going to equal h of x times g prime of x. So the original function h of x times the derivative of g of x minus g of x times h prime of x, so the original function g of x times the derivative of h of x, all of that over h of x squared. Okay, so take a second, kind of take that in, and let's look at an example. So we're going to look at f of x equaling 5x minus 2 over x squared plus 1. So in this case, g of x is 5x minus 2, h of x is x squared plus 1. So our derivative of f of x equals, let's start with the first part, h of x. So we're just going to bring that up to the numerator, x squared plus 1. Then we're going to take the derivative of g of x, and that's going to be 5, right? Okay. Now we're going to subtract g of x, which is the original function g of x, so 5x minus 2, times the derivative of h of x, and that is 2x. All of that over h of x squared, which is x squared plus 1 squared. Okay, so we are going to now simplify just like we did before. We're going to multiply that 5, we're going to multiply that 2x and simplify. So we get our derivative equaling 5x squared plus 5 minus 10x squared plus 4x all over. Now we could expand that out, but let's just keep it as is for right now, see if we have any common factors in the numerator and the denominator as we work through this. So we have x squared plus 1 squared. Alright, so simplifying the numerator still, we have negative 5x squared plus 4x plus 5 all over x squared plus 1 all squared. So if we look at that, it's not really factorable, so there's nothing we can do to cancel out an x squared plus 1, so we'll just leave it in this form. So just kind of use these formulas, the product rule and the quotient rule. You can use them as a map for when you have different functions. So refer back to this often, and hopefully this helps as you are taking derivatives of more complex functions. Talk to you in the next video.